I think for a lot of people, maybe the open source question wasn't as important until rubber hit the road and all of a sudden everybody and their pet dog realized that this AI thing is big and it's important to have models that come the right conditions and the right data. And it's probably not a good idea to have the potential dystopian future when we have two companies far away that control all of that.
And it's very quickly become clear to me that most people who talk about this stuff don't know what they're talking about either. Nobody who knows what they're talking about will ever say it's an open source license. So at the point of launch, what went wrong was Mark Zuckerberg called it open source. And the reason it's open innovation, not open source, is that the license would never meet the requirements of the open source definition of open source software. Nobody can recite the 10 points of that definition, but what you need to think about is that anyone can use the code for any purpose. So there's no friction, there's a free flow in the licensing and the sharing of the base that you're looking at. And with the Llama license, it has a commercial restriction and an acceptable use policy. And what those do to the licensing structure and the use is they create friction. So you can't rely when you take it that you can give it the way we do with open source, and you have this cascading free flow. So what we need, if we want the ability to innovate on top, the ability to compete in the future, and the ability to have security and to provide services, whether it's through public sector or enterprise, that are safe and secure for our citizens, is to be able to access the code. So for me, if you want to protect people, you want access. You can't go back and change that. But what we can fix is the go forward. And what we're trying to do is make sure that people understand what open source is, how it works, and how that generates the values of openness in a landscape where it's in people's interest to spread